Right.
So going to this whole voting system, right? How do you think Black people should go about exercising their voting power? Because every year, every election, we vote Democratic. You know what I mean? We don't get nothing out of it. It seems like every other community gets something out of it except for us. So how do we move going forward? Because I'm tired of hearing you should vote because your ancestors died for you to have the right to vote. How do we go and actually make a change with our voting power?
We got to be strategic with our vote, and we have to be able to withhold our vote if need be, and withhold it for the right candidate. We shouldn't just be married to one party, and we shouldn't look at these parties as our buddies. Look, LBJ, Lyndon B. Johnson, was a stone cold racist back in the 1960s. The FBI got him on tape calling Martin Luther King all types of niggas and all that. But he was the one who actually passed the Civil Rights Act because of the riots that were going on. Black people were in the streets turning up, and we forced their hand. We forced them to say, hey, we're going to have to do something for Black folks. I don't care who it comes from, Donald Trump, whoever. If we want tangibles and somebody's going to give us tangibles, that's who we support. What happens is politicians come around us and then they start hugging and kissing, and they get into this whole kumbaya thing that we got to stop falling for. They come around with catfish nuggets and all of this hot sauce and dancing the Dougie and all of this goofy ass stuff. And we got to stop that performative nonsense and thinking, okay, these people are our friend and we got to support them. No, we got to get something from them. What are they going to do to enhance us financially? And we need to withhold our vote until we get that. So we got to be very strategic with everything we do.
I like what Cube did, or what he tried to implement was, getting something down written on paper.
Yes.
That way we could hold these politicians accountable. So when they don't do X, Y, and Z, I don't know what the ramifications may be. We could sue that party or whatever the case is. What's your thoughts on like Ice Cube's whole strategy about getting something written down on paper and getting these politicians to sign it?
Yeah, that comes from Dr. Claude Anderson. He talks about how we should get these politicians to make a commitment, and if they don't make a commitment, we get them out of office. I'm a big proponent of withholding the vote. If you strategically withhold your vote, that's going to cause a panic in the system, because it's very imperative that they get us involved in the system. If we are delegitimizing the system by not participating, they look at that as dangerous, because they look at those people as the next revolutionaries. Just instinctively, if you don't believe in a system, you're going to create your own system. And they know that's a problem, because we can do it. We have the ingenuity to create our own system. So they have to get us on their treadmill. So if you want us on the treadmill, you better give us something to get on it. If you're not giving us anything, we're going to create our own treadmill, and that's going to rival yours. So we got to have that kind of mindset.
That would take a lot to organize, and I agree with it 100%. But if us, Black men and Black women can't even get shit settled in our homes, how would you expect us to be organized enough to do something like that?
We rally around a cause. I'll give you an example. Let's go back to hip hop and our film. Right now, the corporate structure, they've been denigrating hip hop, denigrating our culture, telling lies about our culture. We said on a grassroots level, we're going to raise money. We did a Kickstarter to get the money for the movie Microphone Check. We did it on our own. It became successful around the country without the corporate structure. Now that it is successful, all of the corporate entities are calling me. I've been doing interviews with corporate structures all week. When they can't beat you, they will join you. When you get on code with your group and understand that there's a bigger play here that we have to rally around, and there's a mission that we have to get codified around, that's going to make everybody else stand in line, because the corporate structure see the money that we're making. When they see us independently making all of this money and making all these moves, they say, we got to get in on that shit. We got to get in on it.
But with us being such a small percentage of the U.S., like how do you think that would work though?
We're a small percentage, but man, we have $1 trillion spending power. That's a lot of money. You understand that?
That's easy.
They've monitored our spending. We spend a lot of money as Black people. They watch that. And they try to figure out ways to funnel it to themselves. We are the talent in this country. When you look at sports, look at all of our iconic stars. That's why they had a problem with Cube doing the big three. That's a smart thing he's doing. So they're trying to kind of low-key co-opt Cube. They want to get in on that. So when we start doing things on our own, that makes them want to get on it. So we have to tell them, if you're not going to give us what we need, we're going to do our own thing. And when we do our own thing, that's going to rival yours.
that made me think about Kyrie. I remember Kyrie, you know, he was just like, yo, why don't we just make our own league? Like, you know, he was talking about all the NBA players. And then right after that, that's when they started having all these Black Lives Matter. It was real active with the Black Lives Matter and seeing that they were supportive of black people to get everybody's minds off of that.
Kyrie is an executive producer on Microphone Check.
Is he?
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, that's dope.
Shout out to Kyrie.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.